Hello all, welcome back. This is module number 3 and we are going to learn the second part of this story, Should Wizard Hit Mummy? In the previous module, we learned about how Jackie is telling her a new story and it is about a skunk. The skunk is an animal who smells really bad. So the wizard finally changes the smell of this skunk to a smell of a rose. Let us see what happens next. So let us continue with the second part of this story, students. And in the previous module, we said that Roger Skunk was happy and every animal liked him. And Joe thought that the story was over. And she was looking out of the window. So looking at her expression, her father, Jack, said that the story was not yet over. Then he said that he was going to continue the story and asked Joe to be attentive. So, continuing the story, the father said that the mommy skunk asked that from where was that awful smell coming from? And to which Roger replied that it was him. So the mommy skunk actually got angry and ordered Roger to take her to the wizard. His mom took out her umbrella and reached the wizard's house, and the mommy skunk hit him on his head. Jo started imagining her own story about how the wizard would have hit the mummy and never changed Roger Skunk back. Jack told her that the wizard changed Roger Skunk back to normal and he did not smell of roses anymore. Jack told her that it was his story and if she wanted him to tell her any more stories, then she should keep quiet. So, what do you understand? Joe actually wanted a happy ending where Roger Skunk would be having the same smell of the rose, while her father and Roger Skunk's mother was of the opinion that the Roger Skunk must have his original smell, and that's where there is an argument between Jack and Joe. After some time, when Roger Skunk and his mother came back home, his father arrived back from Boston and they all had their dinner. Later that night, Mother Skunk hugged him and told him that he smelled like her baby skunk and that she loved him a lot. With this, Jack ended the story. Hearing this ending, Joe again asked that did the other animals run away? And to this, Jack replied that no, because they slowly got used to the smell. And Joe said that what the mother skunk did was stupid. But Jack said no because somewhere he was relating it to himself and defending his own mother. So Jack told Joe to take a long day nap. He then went very softly to the door, but when he turned and looked, Joe was staring at him and sitting on top of the covers. Then he told her to go to sleep and warned her, but she stood up and started bouncing softly on the springs. She asked her father to tell her a story the next day that the wizard took her magic stick and hit the mummy. Then Jack explained to her that this was not what the story said. And this means that Joanne wanted a different or a happy ending, like every other story. Now, Joanne feels that the Roger skunk is sad because all the animals would be hating him again due to the unpleasant smell. So, Jo is requesting her father to give a better story tomorrow, where the wizard would be hitting the mommy. So he said that the skunk loved his mother more than any of the other animals in the woods, and that his mother knew about what was right for him. He started insisting that the next day he would have to tell her a story like the one she wanted. Jack told her to be patient and sleep, and that he would see to it the next day. He then asked her to stay on the bed and close the door. He went downstairs in order to help his wife. During that time, Jack again heard footsteps above and shouted that Joanne want a beating or not. So the sound of the footsteps stopped. Then Jack's wife told him that It was a long story, so he was feeling very tired. After coming downstairs, and while he was looking at the woodwork, Jack felt that he was in an ugly middle position and he did not want to talk to anybody because Jack felt so uneasy as Joanne had started questioning him and she was raising a question regarding the ending of story, and that was the first time when he faced such an experience from Joanne. Joanne was not a little girl anymore. Since they had a difference of opinion, this story raises the moral issue that whether the parents must take all the decisions for their children or should they let the children take their own decision. And this is the important theme that the chapter highlights. So I hope you have understood the chapter and we'll continue in the next module. Thank you all.